Hi, welcome. In this video, we are going to look at how to do some formatting in Excel. Remember, formatting is kind of like an art, so generally less is more. So I'm going to introduce you to some of the tools that are used to format, and then so from there you can always do as it fits, as the audience fits, as it fits the audience. Because remember, it's just to be able to improve your communication. It's nothing fancy, but just for communication, telling stories. So let's go to the computer and do just that now. So we are here now. Last video we did editing. So I'll just click on this plus here to create a new sheet. And then I'll double click. And then I'm just going to call that formatting. So let me just enter some data here, which we would use to do formatting. So name, tab, age, tab, salary, and then I'll press enter again. I'm going to type John, tab, age, I'm going to put 30, tab, salary, I'm going to put 4,000, enter. Mary, I'm going to press tab, age 20, I'm going to press tab again. Salary, I put 3,000. Remember, this tab and enter makes me come back to the next line all the time, so it's a good practice to use them. We spoke about that in an earlier video, so you can always go back and look at that. So I'm going to use Peter, then I'm going to go to tab again, maybe 9, then I'm going to put 100. So now let's just go here, look at this home tab, and then we are going to look at these ribbons and the groups that are here, which are to help us do the formatting. So the first thing you see here is the bold. So if I click on this, I'm going to be able to make all this bold. So let me zoom in so that I can be able to show you clearly what you're doing. So this is the bold here, and then also the next thing here, you could make it italics. So if I remove this and I click on I here, you see it's in italics. So and that's another way you could format your data based on what you want to communicate through. So some might be in italics, some might be in bold, or even bold and italics, so like that. Now let me take that out. And then another thing you could do is to underline. So let's say you wanted to underline the titles. So just here, if you look at this, just stay here. Another thing you can do is always try to experiment, because the good thing about Excel is something you drag and drop as you try something, and you can always undo. So we underline it, and you see we have like the titles are underlined. So that is for underlining. And then you might say, okay, I want these titles to be a bit bigger so that it clearly differentiates it from the rest of the data. So I could select just that, click, and then you select. Then you go here and you can decide whatever size you want. So you see, as I keep increasing, the size keeps increasing. So let me say I take 16. And then you see it's big. I'm just showing this just for illustration, but remember again, less is more when you're on formatting, because to know newcomers or beginners in Excel, most of the time is by the colors. They are going to be putting so many colors. Excited about that, but it's a story you're telling, so you need to be as minimalistic as possible. So that's fine. Let's take that down. So I could take that down with this, take it back up here. So that's another way of increasing the font size. So let's take the font size down, and then we could decide to give this some color. Just look for something soft, not too extravagant, like this. Maybe gray, it's okay. So this color might be good. So we've given the header some color, and then we might want to align them. And now you can come here. So you see, for example, when I click here, everything is center. It looks good. Go to the left or to the right, I prefer, most of the time I like putting them in the center like this, so align them like that. And then you can also align upwards, downwards. So let me just so for example, if it's like this, so it could be aligned like that. You see, that's the use of this one up here, like middle but down. So more of how high is it. This one is the horizontal alignment, this one is the vertical alignment. So it's okay, let's put them in the middle. Double click here again to auto adjust, and everything is adjusted like that way. So there is sometimes you might want to merge text. Let's just say, for example, I'll just right click here, right click, insert, and then I'll just say here I don't want this, so I'll go back to the no fill here, and then I click on no fill, and then now I maybe say I insert another column here, insert. So I might say, for example, here we want the first name, tap, and here we want the last name, enter. So let me double click here. So we could merge this to be one, and then of course we could also use the font color to maybe highlight it. I'll just use this just to show, but then again, you should be very conservative with your colors. So let me just use that just to show that you can change your colors here. And then now you have that, so you've merged these two cells. So remember, if I click here again, it unmerges, and if I select this, it merges this. So at times you might want a presentation like this for yeah, to pass a message. So you can also now say, okay, I want to group these together so that we clearly see that they are different. And that's where you have things like the borders here. So you can decide to just say, okay, tick borders outside, for example. So these are just here. Then you might select all of these, and then you say, okay, all borders. So you have your all borders. Then you come and say here, for example, I want tick borders outside of this, and maybe each separation is a tick border on the outer side. Each separation is a tick border on the outer side. So you see what the borders do. So then maybe these ones, we can bring them down here. So I'm just illustrating just to show you, and then we get say, okay, this one gets this here. So whatever. And then maybe for distinction, you don't want that to have that color, you want something else. So it's just to show you how to play with the font and the background color, the font color, and then you've seen how to centralize, put orientation horizontally, vertically, and then you could also maybe want to bring out, maybe push something to the left manually like this, or like that to the right, so this indent. Then maybe to adjust something for one or two reasons, that's what that is for. And then there are, maybe you might want to orientate something. Let's just show you an example, maybe like this. Maybe I don't generally use it, but then it's just to like something that is there, maybe you see it in a sheet and yeah, orientate it that way, whatever. Just yeah, so I could undo that, undo. And then you might also want to wrap your text. So let's say you have a very long text. Let me just say just put something like a description also, just to description. Then a young man at home also. So you might see that if you click here, it pulls it, but you might not want this to be too long. So but when you put it like this, you see you have that it's going out of the borders. So what you could do, you could wrap the text, and then you see well, each time you pull it, it just tries to fit. Let me just say, it just tries to fit, wrap, yeah, it just tries to fit. So it's better. So you can see how to use the wrap text here. You've seen how to use the merge and center, increase and indent. So let me just delete this one, And then, so let's say you have all of this and you want to create a similar table here. So instead of going and starting from afresh, and you need to start typing again, maybe name, first name, and changing the colors. So that's the role of the format painter here. It's to be able to copy the format for you. So you just select this and click on the format painter, go to wherever you're interested in and click here, and you see everything is already ready for you. So if you want to put in another name and maybe first name, last name, John, Peter, all this is already ready for you. So I hope you're able to format your work. Remember, less is more, and just put as little as is important, just to be able to highlight the eyes of the listener, the viewer, to what is important for you. Otherwise, leave it as basic, as minimalistic as possible. So wish you good data log. See you next video.